Why does it never light on my lawn? Why does it rain and never say good day to the newborn?
Good morning, lovely people of the airwaves. You're listening to
The Corey Schlaak Show.
And I am none other than your host,
Corey Schlaak.
As you know, the segment of the day is
Review Tuesdays,
where I review a game and examine it like that creepy relative you have who won't take his eyes off the pot roast at Thanksgiving.
I'm speaking about you, Uncle Jerry.
Today's game I'll be looking at is a game called The Flame and the Flood.
And trust me when I say the name is fitting.
Well, anyways, now to the clip. The Flame and the Flood is by far one of the best games within the survival genre. It scratches an uncommon itch that is often not scratched in the video game community. Brutally hard survival. This game is so captivating that it keeps the player returning for more in spite of its difficult learning curve. The game begins with a female character named Scout trying to stay warm by a fire when a homeless dog named ASAP brings a bag to Scout with a radio from its former owner. This motivates her to get up and attempt to find the owner of the dog and hope to find someone else to survive with. The world in which the game takes place is one stricken by a flood which has swept through and desolated everything, leaving only small patches of life-sustaining land to visit. This setting is the first step of the player's journey, which leads them on a trek floating down a long river on a makeshift raft, searching out food and other materials needed for survival. Finding shelter, surviving wild animal attacks, avoiding poisonous plants, fending off the vicious cold, and scavenging for food are all just some of the challenges that come with traveling down the river. The art design of the game is one to marvel at. The beautiful cel-shaded nature of The Flame and the Flood makes the entire journey look like a mix of surrealist art and illustrations from Aesop's fables. Accompanying the art of the game is wonderful folk music written by Chuck Reagan. This gives the game a real outdoor feeling. It is the perfect soundtrack for going camping and fits right in with the survival style of the game. Everything in the environment, such as the pitter-patter of rain, shadow of towering trees, sloshes of waves, and flashes of lightning show how well the art design makes the game of the world feel like a wilderness that is daunting but alive. Even Scout's body and face are slightly misshapen to show how cruel the world has been to her and the perpetual melancholy she lives in. Now, the real grit of the game comes from a number of systems the player has to juggle if they want to survive the wilderness. These systems include everything from staying hydrated to the conditions of the raft Scout is floating on. There is much technicality to these, of course. For example, when trying to fend off hunger, the player can't just simply find a rabbit and eat it. They would have to set a trap, catch the rabbit, skin the rabbit, cook the rabbit, and then eat the rabbit. This may sound tedious to anyone who hasn't played a survival game, but it is one of the key elements which makes a quality survival game. There is a bit of risk-reward in the choices one makes in the game. Should the player drink dirty water with the possibility of getting sick, or should they wait it out and risk dehydration in hopes the next rain comes soon? In any circumstance, the choices made are critical to beating the Flame and the Flood. This is all because of a very special mechanic called permadeath. If the player dies at all in the game, they will have to restart from the beginning. Every action taken is now one with lasting consequences, which is an experience not often given in other survival games. To anyone who might shy away from the game because of the difficulty, there is other options to make the game easier for novices. Traveler mode takes away the permadeath mechanic and allows players to respawn after permadeath from their last checkpoint reached along their journey. This mode also provides a better frequency of helpful items so that surviving isn't as painstaking as before. One may misconstrue that Traveler mode doesn't provide any engaging experience because of its added guidance. However, the game is still quite challenging without permadeath. Traveler mode isn't a lesser option, but beating the game with permadeath does give the player bragging rights. All in all, The Flame and the Flood is a marvelous take on the survival game genre. It is very tough, but definitely worth it when finally finished. The visuals and the music are masterpieces that make the world the game takes place in feel truly organic. Anyone who is willing to face the challenges this game has for them won't be disappointed. I give this game an overall rating of 9.5 out of 10. Alright folks, thanks for tuning into the Corey Schlaak Show. Come back in the next hour if you want to hear me interview the first non-vegetarian French-speaking armadillo. Have a nice one, folks.